And that's when we had a light bulb moment. Wait, if you're feeling this way and I'm feeling this way, maybe other people are feeling this way. But that damn phone that we have in front of us every day keeps things moving all time.
It's all a bunch of now. You can't go into the future, right? You can't go into the past. Everything is just a bunch of nows. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Zap, the amazing pod. We're talking about Gen Z stuff, their likes, their dislikes, their icks, the red flags, the green flags, all of the things. And not just talking about, but we're talking to. I talked to one of my Gen Z influencer friends, Danielle, and I was like, who else can I talk to? And before I can even get the question out of my mouth, he said, Parker. I said, Parker. And we got him on the show today. Parker, welcome to the show, my guy.
It's great to be here. I'm pumped for this. I wish we could have done it in person, but you know, we're coming in virtually. I'm ready to elevate.
My man is already coming with the inspirational content, ready to elevate. Let's lift this thing up. Yes. Where are you? So I'm in New York. So I came out to New York, folks that don't know, because I wanted to connect with these folks live and direct. And so we had it all set up to have the team here, but thankfully we have virtual as an option. Well, where are you, man?
Yeah, I'm not too far. I'm in New York City, in Manhattan, close to the park, my favorite place in the city. And thank God for the park because, you know, this concrete can get a bit overwhelming. And Central Park provides me that amazing disconnect from that concrete into some human-created grass, if you want to call it that.
Human created grass. I love it. I was driving through last night and then like coming in this morning to where we're recording, and I just see there's trees on top of buildings, right? They got these rooftop garden aura that's going on because folks, I guess to your point, are tired of these kind of like let's bring some greenery into the concrete. So you have little parks here, but you'll have like bushes and vines and ferns and trees and rooftop stuff and walking gardens, and I love that. How often do you get to the park, man?
I'm there every day. I live right near the park every single day. Obviously, I'm the founder of Elevation Nation. You can see that on my Instagram or my LinkedIn or Twitter or whatnot. But on my TikTok, I call myself Parker in the Park, and I take videos of myself just walking around the park. What's cool? What's happening in the park? So I'm always there. It's my favorite place. It's my safe space, if you want to call it that. That's your safe space.
I was about to say, man, we could have done a walking podcast, man. We could have done Parker in the Park. We could have had the gimbal. We could have had the camera. That would have been maybe the next time we'll elevate and we'll bring that elevation and that Parker in the Park to Mr. Meaningful Work. And that we'll just mesh that all in together.
That sounds meaningful.
Yeah. It is. Well, dude, you actually kind of segued into it perfectly because one of the things that we talk about, or the section of the show that we run into, is called What Are You Famous For? Ruff. WRUFF. So before you tell us what you're famous for, I want to hear your big dog Ruff, right? We got big dog you got.
I'm gonna let it out. I feel like I'm like blowing out steam.
You're trying to get something out. Is that sounds like a Mastiff. That sounds very Mastiff-y, very Cane Corso.
I feel like a Mastiff is like a little stoic, very big, and just walks around moving.
Dominating. Exactly. You don't even have to give like a whole bark. Like they just do like the and the folks like, okay. Sorry.
Boom.
All right.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. So what are you famous for? What do people know, Parker, for, whether in your large social circles, professionally, or just in your family and your friends? When the name Parker is belted out, what comes to mind to people?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm a son. And I'm a husband and a brother and a friend. And that is first and foremost before anything work related, because that is who I always will be. But on top of that, I call myself an elevator. I try to elevate myself every day, put one step forward so I can grow in my personal journey and professional journey. But I also am inspired by helping others elevate themselves to get where they want to go. So for work, I am the co-founder of Elevation Nation, a movement to inspire young people to elevate their mindset so that they can conquer the real world. My co-founder and I have been on this journey for almost 5 years now. now. It started with a podcast, just meeting other young, inspiring people to hear about how they've navigated life after college, life in the real world, life in their 20s. And it's kind of formed into this nation as we hoped it would be one day. So we have a really cool community of young people that we bring together. They elevate each other. And then on top of that, Sam and I speak around the country to high schoolers, college kids, young professionals. We share lessons about what we've learned on the podcast and what we've learned through our own journey with young people to inspire them to go conquer the real world. And then for my full-time job, while we're building Elevation Nation on the side, I am a people consultant at Ernst & Young, EY. I've been there since I graduated. So I've been there for going on year 7. I consult government organizations on how to improve their people experience. So it all meshes together in what I'm, inspired to do each and every day.
That's dope. I mean, for you, I know a lot of folks kind of go on an entrepreneurial journey to answer a question for themselves or to help others externally from something that they've been experiencing internally. And so did you kind of struggle to elevate your mindset as you were kind of navigating your 20s and that's what inspired this? Or did you observe? I mean, what was the catalyst for this? Was there a personal story catalyst or was it something kind of external that said, hey, this is something that I need to talk about on a podcast and then eventually we need to build a community around? What was the catalyst for that?
Yeah, so I like to think about my life and my childhood as like written on this GPS. So I was guided with a destination that if I went a little bit off course, the GPS would route me back. And those people who are routing me back are my teachers, my parents. As you get older, you're starting to navigate life in high school and college one way or the other. But the GPS always routed me back to where I needed to go if I went off course. And, I did good in school. I got good grades. I fortunately got a great job offer. And I was ready to conquer the real world. Graduated college. And in that first year, it was almost like the GPS went away and all I was left with was a compass. So it was me to determine how to put my step forward without having someone or people rerouting me. Yeah, my parents were still there, but they didn't know what I was going through in my own real world experience. And that first year was a big challenge for me. I struggled immensely, professionally, personally. And I went to my best friend and said, hey, I'm really struggling. I thought life was supposed to be good post-college. I got all this, I worked so hard for this. What is this all about? Is the rest of my life going to be like this? And he was like, dude, I'm feeling the exact same way. And that's when we had a light bulb moment. Wait, if you're feeling this way and I'm feeling this way, maybe other people are feeling this way. And so that's when we landed on a podcast as a way to meet other people who might be feeling that way and kind of get inspiration from others who might have been a step ahead of us in figuring out the real world. So we started Elevation Nation and we started interviewing, having conversations about what it means to be a young person in this world. And now almost 5 years later, we're still rolling. We're still in our 20s, a little bit older, but I like to say we've navigated with that compass a little bit better than I did 6 years ago.
That is such a crisp picture. And I loved the imagery of a GPS and a compass where with the GPS, it's kind of automatic. It's directing you, telling the left and the right. And if you go off course, it'll automatically, whereas a compass, you just got to know where north is, right? You got to figure out where north is and you have to kind of move and know where to go. I think what's cool is that the compass, or at least to some degree, kind of led you to your friend, right? It led you to connection. It led you to another person that was experiencing something similar. And that was then what was able to birth this service, this offering for other folks. So you've done a ton of episodes, a ton of podcast episodes. How many podcast episodes have you done, dude?
Yeah, so to date, we've done 336 episodes. We release an episode every Tuesday with a new elevator. So that's an entrepreneur, athlete, artist, musician, a young person really getting after it. And then on Thursdays, we release what we call Fortitude and 15. It's just Sam and I talking it up about what we are going through in the given week. And so we've been nonstop with it since 2020, October 2020.
Wow. Dude,
Yeah.
336, damn near 340 conversations with folks that are out here doing life, elevators. You're also, creating community with these young people as well. What have you seen? Are there any trends that you have seen? Any common themes in the conversations that you have had, either with the elevators on the show or with the community of folks that you connect with? What are maybe like one or two things that are common to these groups?
I'm glad you asked. We've interviewed Olympians. We've interviewed entrepreneurs who run six-figure businesses. We've interviewed TikTokers who have over 1 million followers. And then we've interviewed just your common folk, someone who works in a typical 9-to-5 job. And what we found is there's a common theme that binds all of these elevators together, these people who just get after it. And that's a concept that Sam and I like to call mental fortitude. And we think that's kind of the missing piece that young people need to uncover so that they can go elevate themselves in the real world. We think about these people who have done incredible things and we see the glory all the time, right? On social media, for example, you only see the good all the time, but these people have been through the ringer. They have put in the hard work and they have met failure time and time again. And they have understood this concept of mental fortitude for themselves to continue to push through that pain when times are really difficult. And we think that elevators have uncovered that mental fortitude for themselves. And we basically break down mental fortitude into 3 pieces. These people know who they are. They know what they're good at. They know what they're not good at. They know what they want. They have a goal in mind and they're inspired to go and continue to get after that goal. And they know what is inspiring to them. And those 3 things, who you are, what you want, and what inspires you, is a recipe to continue to elevate. And it's incredible because time and time again, 336 episodes later, you can see that consistent theme. And it doesn't matter who comes on the show. It's pretty cool.
I love that you're able to, find a framework out of the themes that folks are talking about, I think. And it always starts with knowing who you are. I think from a navigation and a GPS standpoint, you need to turn on your location services for Google or Apple to know where you are right now before they can direct you to where you want to go. And so knowing yourself, who you are, what you want is that starting point, and then finding out whatever that destination is. Okay, let's figure out how to navigate to that. I got one more question for you, and I sent you 4 questions, and you were to pick one. Which one of those 4 questions did you want to answer for us today?
Rapid fire to me, any of them. I'm down. I'm an open book. Seriously.
Okay, so I want you to teach us what is something that you are really good at that you can teach us here today. So anybody that's watching, anybody that's listening, and they are in the Parker experience right now, what is something that you can teach us right here on the pod today?
I think the world is moving faster than ever before. And, not that the world is spinning faster, not that there's more things happening. Maybe there are more things happening, but that damn phone that we have in front of us every day keeps things moving all time fast. So I always like to set my intention when things are moving fast that I need to take a step back and be very mindful and present about the moment that I'm in. And so I'm not calling myself an expert, by any means in any way, but taking a deep breath, Tim, can have such an impact on capturing that moment in time, like taking a deep breath in. And I'm like, wow. We're sitting and chopping up a great episode, great conversation right here. Yeah. We met over LinkedIn and I'm taking this in. This is an incredible moment. Yeah. And I think while life moves so fast, it's taking a step back. It's acknowledging that we're alive. Yeah. And that's a gift that we take for granted every single day. Right now the sun isn't out in New York, but you know what? The clouds you can find beauty in too. And you can find beauty in this moment. And nothing else matters besides that moment that we're in, because this is all we have right now. The past is gone and the future, we don't know what's going to happen. This is all we get. And so when I take that deep breath, I try to bring myself into that moment, into this moment, because, I think life moves way too fast. And if we could just take a step back and breathe, it might be a little bit better.
That is Sound advice. That is a gem. That is wisdom that was dropped right here, right now. I was watching something and they were talking about, the future, the present, and the present and the past. And the conclusion of that talk was that it's all a bunch of now. You can't go into the future, right? You can't go into the past. Everything is just a bunch of nows. And it's just like this forever now, the eternal now, as you're moving through. And so this thing that you just talked about of being able to appreciate the now and not being distracted by what's happening next or what's happening over there or what's, all that stuff. Breathe and appreciate this eternal now.
Yeah. And we live in a world where people, want to get that supplement or that thing that's going to help them feel healthier, be healthier. Yes, going to the gym is important. Yes, staying physically fit is important. Eating right, all those things. Getting sleep, drinking water. But you know what? We have the ability to just breathe. And every single person does that. And our breath can have such an impact on the way we feel. And that's something that we can control every single moment of every day if we think more intentionally about it.
Dude. Just breathe. That's all you got to do, folks. It's just breathe and go to the park once or twice and go see the green grass.
Especially in New York. Yeah, park definitely helps.
The park helps. Hey, well, dude, if there's one thing that we can leave folks today about the generation, about yourself, about what you're doing, what's something that we can leave folks with for you today, man?
I think young people are the change makers that are the now and the future. I think more young people are making an impact on the world than ever before today. And I am inspired by that and inspired by those conversations that we've had on this podcast, meeting young people who are doing exceptional things. Elevation Nation is a community helping young people unleash their mental fortitude to elevate in the real world. And we're not stopping. The nation is growing. If you want to check us out, we're at Elevation Nation on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, you name it. We release 2 episodes a week on Tuesday and Thursday with a new guest and just elevate with us. It's a journey, man. That's what we're about. And I'm excited for what's to come. The world is in a good place. You just got to think it is.
You just got to think it is. You got to think it is all about your perspective. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Zap, the Amazing Pod. We appreciate Parker, all of his information, Elevation Nation, and the crazy cool work that he's doing. I will be linked in the description and here on the video. If there's anything that resonated with you, let us know in the comments. If there's anybody that you think we should be talking to, shoot me an email, tim@mrmeaningfulwork.com. That's tim@mrmeaningfulwork.com. We are excited to bring you another episode of Z Amazing Pod. Y'all have a great rest of your day.